Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go,
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Nightcap. We're doing this every Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are trying to bring you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use for tomorrow. And I don't do this alone. I got my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, FD White. How you doing? Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too happy today.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I feel you. I lost my ass in a trade. The one that I was looking at the top side of that ascending triangle we've been talking about, basically
Yeah.
flipping that resistance into support. I took a play on that, and that did not play out today. So we don't win them all. We don't win them all. And, you know, it's important for us as content creators that are talking about trading to be fully transparent with you guys, especially you know, when you lose some, you win some. Hopefully you're winning more than you're losing, which I think is the case. But today was one of those days where it just really didn't play out in my favor. I can be very transparent with that. So what
Yeah,
about you,
yeah.
man? Anything? Did you have any plays you were looking at?
We I made a video about 10 excuse me, 10 hours ago saying that if we don't hold this level, be looking for 58, 59, 60K. And we popped up a little bit, we came below it, popped up a little bit, and then we rolled over. As soon as we rolled over, I knew it. I didn't take the short, but I just knew it. We just fell through like, hot butter. So it was
It
if
felt
you'd have watched my if you yeah,
quick.
if you'd have watched the I talked about this analysis yesterday on Blockchain Basement, then I talked about it again earlier over on my channel. So the community over there was prepared. I didn't take the trade, but we were prepared nonetheless. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. That's the game we play, especially when you're trading. So if you're holding on, you know, or just you got those bags that you're just kind of keeping through, you know, all the craziness, then you know it might be an opportunity to add to those bags when you get to those major areas of support, right? And we did. We came right down to a pretty critical area. So let's get over to the chat. Let's say what's up to everybody in here. We got Retro Mike Tech. He's first in the chat. He said, "Sell cast buy Popcat." I think FD
Yeah,
would co-sign that one. Username said
yeah,
it's time for the main event. And he said, "Give me some crypto lullabies." My man, I got the blue light on for you. That's for you, dog. All right, FD, obviously, you're in the chat. Alexander G, best spot in the house. We got May Babe Band Aid, Eric Ballin Wallin. We just lost that little uptrend. All good people. It's okay right now. We are at a pretty critical area of support, and we'll look at that when we get to the charts. Crypto Billy, hola, my friend. We're going to be pushing everybody your way. We're going to try to keep this quick today so we don't step on Billy Goat Tails. So, all right. My passive freedom. Hey, yo, how you doing? Harp, how you doing? And Mike plays in the chat. Who else? We got Trade Intuition. How you doing, man? Hope all is well, Joe. He is part of the fam here. Seth Shepard, he said hello. Hello, Seth. How are you? And I think I got most. Nikki B is in the chat. And BC Portcore. Blackie Chain, how you doing, my friend? I think we are good. All right. So, one last one. My passive freedom. He said 65K next. Huh. I don't know. We'll look at that. We'll look at that. I think we're trending in the wrong direction, my friend. We got some resistance ahead of us, but yeah, man. He said fear and greed is back to 30, right at support. So we'll take a look at that as well. So, all right, let's start getting into some of the news here. And first up, we got the NASDAQ is actually seeking approval to start trading Bitcoin options. So that is very, very bullish. That it's just going to give more exposure to Bitcoin. Obviously, we have to find out, when they're talking about options, is there going to be any of the actual token exchanged or pulled kind of like the ETF? I'm going to be guessing probably not. But again, it's still about, I would say, some of that exposure, right? That starts opening up the game a little bit for a lot more people to get in. There's a lot of degens out there that like to trade stock options. So if that becomes an option for them, especially with the volatility, that could become a really, really big thing and make Bitcoin a lot more part of the mainstream. And I think that would probably be the important part there. So over to the duo cam. What are your thoughts there, man? That's kind of a quick, we'll say, good news article for Bitcoin, because we gotta talk about what's going on. The dump said do, I like to call it. But we also have some not so fun news. But what do you think about this, man? How do you think this affects Bitcoin price?
Oh, I mean, it's just more leverage and more liquidity into the system if this does happen. So, I mean, that can work both ways. That can work both ways. I actually, now that you said something, I actually logged into my crypto.com account after like 2.5 years. I haven't been on there since like 2022, and I think they have options now. If I'm not mistaken, I was kind of just scanning through it, looking, to see what kind of dust I had on there, and I think I saw something about options on there. So if somebody in the chat can confirm that about crypto.com having Bitcoin, Ethereum options. I think that was the only two I saw. Let me know down there. I need to go back on there, but you just reminded me by saying that. But like I said, a lot of people who make a lot of money in the stock market are options traders.
Hmm.
They live and they die by these options. I started to learn options like way before I even, well, not way before, but right before I got into crypto, in that beginning of 2020. So I kind of learned how to do it. It's basically reading the charts and trying to predict or trying to find probable price points of it going up or down, puts or calls. So I think it's definitely could be a plus. Just more liquidity, but more leverage. Like I said, it could go either way. So it's just something that's inevitable though for the market. It's going to
Yeah.
happen sooner or later.
Yeah, for sure, man. I would agree for that. Like at some point, like it's bound to happen. And the big, I think I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I got to work on those words, huh? Uh, Coinbase actually is letting you leverage trade now as well. I don't know if you guys are tracking on that. So you could actually do 3x, and then during, I think it's like trading hours, they'll let you do 5x. So I haven't gotten a lot of exposure to it. I have done a couple trades here and there with about 3x leverage, just to kind of see how it works, get a little idea of it. But it's really like, you get a contract, you put a time frame on it. It's kind of similar to options trading. So I have to look into it and see if like fundamentally it works the same way. But that is an option for you guys if you do want to dabble in the Coinbase realm and try doing a little bit of trading with leverage on there as well. All right, so you know what time it is. We got to sound that alarm. Elmer Fudd's in the house, and we got some news to talk about. All right, first up, we're going to cover this real quick. U.S. debt crisis is wildly accelerating in the last 4 years. The U.S. debt has skyrocketed by $11 trillion. This is the size of 40% of the U.S. economy's GDP. Let that sink in. It is 40% of the GDP. That is
Mm-hmm.
wild to think about. And there's always been this discussion of like, hey, when are they going to default? I mean, I don't. Is this even real anymore? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Like when we're talking about the debt, and it's just going through the roof. But I would imagine at some point you got to pay the piper, in my mind.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I
And not
think,
Army Piper.
yeah, not the one we love.
Yeah, not the
Yeah,
one we love. That's that
yeah,
one.
this one's more like the Grim Reaper. All right, so
Yeah.
be ready for that. All right, next up, you guys all know there was a big pullback here. So just in 110,000, or sorry, correction, 110 million liquidations happened in the crypto market in a matter of 60 minutes. So with that being said, what I did this time, we are going to pull up some of the liquidations, and we'll get to that in the market pulse. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just transition to that now since I got it up here. So over to the market pulse. In the past 24 hours, 337 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations comes in at $317 million. The largest single liquidation order happened on Binance, and that was Ethereum, valued at 12.67. So to put that in perspective for you guys, if you're familiar with this page or this chart, a lot of times what you're going to see is somewhere around like 2 to about 5 million. So when you start seeing those 10 plus, it's usually a pretty good pullback or a pretty big pump sometimes as well. You'll get those people that are in leverage short positions getting wrecked. So it works both ways, but you can see a lot of people got liquidated in their trades today, unfortunately. All right, coming over to the total market cap, that's sitting at 2.09 trillion. That is down 5.12%. That is a hefty decrease for a 24-hour period. Total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is 82 billion, is an increase of 26.13%. Bitcoin dominance is currently at 56.32%, and that is down 0.09% over the last day. Fear and greed index is currently neutral at 54, according to coin market cap. We'll have to check. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull this up kind of live here. I want to see what the other fear and greed index is showing right now. This is kind of our default one that we like going to on the morning show, and that one is showing 30 fear. I think I'm going to trust this one a little bit more. Maybe I'll start using this one as the actual indicator for the fear and greed index. Getting back over to the top 10, let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are your two big dogs, right? Bitcoin sitting at $59,178, down 6.13% over 24 hours and up 0.03% over 7 days. Ethereum is at $2,441, and that is down 9.37% over 24 hours and down 5.51% over 7 days. So kind of interesting that Ethereum gets the ETF approval, and we are still just seeing a regression in price action. That's taking a lot of people off guard. I'm going to be honest about that one. So not quite sure why the continued pullback for Ethereum. So it's going to take a little research to see what that's all about. Over to the economic calendar, big things on your plate coming up on the 29th, which is in 2 days, the GDP growth rate. And that is coming up on Thursday. And then you got the core PCE price index month over month, personal income month over month, and personal spending month over month on August 30th on Friday. So again, tune into the morning show. That way you can get this information almost real time for Piper. He's going to break each and everything down for you. And that goes at 9:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Over to the crypto bubbles. Ugh. All I got to say is yucky. All right, so
you gotta duck that, man.
Yeah. Whew, that's terrible. All right, Sui's getting hit 11.8%. Sats is down 10.9%. WIF is down 13.3%. LDO is down 11.3%. PayPay is down 11.9%. Whew. I mean, it just looks like everything is down between 5 and about 12% on average.
Yeah.
So not looking too good for the home team. All right, liquidity heat map.
So I got a quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Going back to that quick Ethereum, Eric Wallen did just bring up a good point. He was saying the grayscale outflows, and I think I said I think I seen somewhere where the Ethereum Foundation was selling a little bit too. So that could be a little bit of a sell pressure for Ethereum too. So we'll just keep our eye out on that. Thanks, Eric. I definitely did forget about that grayscale going on. They always have same thing happened with Bitcoin when Bitcoin came out with their with their ETF, they had a lot of unwinding to do over at Grayscale. Then once they stopped selling, seemed like the ETF money started really flowing in and turning around. So thanks.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a thing. I didn't think that was going to have as big an impact though on Ethereum as it did on Bitcoin, to be like fully transparent about it. Well, since we're here on the duo cam, let's hop back over to the chat, say what's up to a couple of the late showers here. We got Wait 589 featuring BTC Twerking Time. What's up, my dude? How you doing? And his wifey Wix Fine 89. How you doing? And Alex, so crypto's in the chat. As always, go show him some love. Thank you for stopping by, my friend, my twin. Much love.
Alex, man. I'm sorry if it's cut you off. Before we kill Alex, if you up in the morning and you trying to get your charts and stuff ready and you're trying to get your trade setups ready for today, and if you're not over at Alex O's morning trade show, you are missing out. I mean, I went over there this morning. Was it today or yesterday? He can tell me when I was in there, but he had some setups for me, and they worked out, to perfection. So I'm always trying to, do my analysis and then go to some of the guys that I really really like and see what they're doing and get some confluence and see what they're looking at too. So go over to Alex O's channel right now. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to him, and you won't be sorry for that. His TA is amazing.
Yeah, Alex, so he's good, man. He really is good. Much respect for him, and he's doing it for free. Like he is,
Yeah.
he's giving you all the good stuff for free. Army Piper is in the chat. He's actually going to be on Piano Matty B tomorrow morning, so that will be super cool. Good luck on that, Piper. Wish you the best, man. I will have to tune in later and watch the replay, but that's super super cool. Caffeinated Crypto, my dude, he's in here showing the Otter Gang some love with all the emojis. I love it. I love it. Right on. All right, Dave Roy. What's up, dude? How you doing? All right, let's get back to the, you know what? I don't even have to show you the liquidation heat map because the liquidity got cleared out. Like it is dark right now where it's at on the liquidity heat map. So let's go ahead and go over to Bitcoin. Look at that on the chart here. We are on the daily. All right, so let's take a look-see here. And, this is the area I was looking. Let me go ahead and take the moving averages off here. But this area right here is where I was looking at. I saw some confluence with the dynamic reactor. I saw that it flipped green, and I was looking for this area of resistance to flip into support. That did not play out for me. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll find support here on this trend line. We did not. So therefore, stop losses are real. I set mine just underneath, and my trade got closed out. So here we are, present time. Now, you gotta be careful here, all right? Because it might actually come up, all right? And you get excited like, oh, okay, all is good. And you might retest this trend line, and then you find that trend line actually flipped into resistance. So it's going to be tricky here. Like there's definitely some potential for a scalp. It looks like there is buying pressure here, right at about 58.3 or so, based just looking at this wick, right? There's definitely some buying pressure there, but it took a long time to find any buying pressure because it was like a quick drop down and there wasn't really many willing buyers kind of in the middle of this drop, which was very, very interesting. It was kind of light on the order books, and it wasn't really until down here, which is a very, very clear line of horizontal support. And this line has been on here the whole time we've been doing the TA. But it's super important area because you see right here resistance, or sorry, correction, support, resistance, resistance, support. Like it just kind of keeps going back and left for quite some time here. So we've been in this range. We've talked about it 100 times since February. All right. So the big thing is you want to maintain that range. But what I don't like when you zoom out a little bit is you're starting to see a trend. All right. And the trend is really a series of lower highs. That's not ideal. That's really not what you want to see. You got some lower lows as well. And so the trend would actually show you that it's kind of starting to lean down and right. So that gives me a little bit of caution, we'll say right now, as we see this developing. Looking at the prime oscillator here, you can see that we did get an indication of a reversal of the trend here, and that's indicated by this white triangle, or sorry, the red triangle here. And now it is starting to pull back pretty sharply. If we go over to the 4 hour, just to look at the oscillators real quick, let's see what they're showing us, because I looked at that, I think earlier. I think that was a pretty sharp decline as well. Yeah. So we had a trend, right? We had a trend of the oscillator going up and right, up and right. So, there's times too where you can actually put trend lines on your oscillators. And let's go right here. So we break the trend right here. We break the trend right there, right? So this is where it falls out. And then, I mean, sure enough, it was just a really harsh decline after that. So, they can be helpful. Oscillators can. Now, would you have predicted that? Maybe if I was looking at it on the 4 hour, I maybe would have not enter that trade, because usually I like to see this trend continue up and right. But now here we are, time now. It's too late. So lost that one. Whoops. But now we have an opportunity. We have some oversold. You are seeing a reversal of trend on the 4 hour, right? So the lower time frame is obviously going to be quicker than the longer time frame of the daily. So again, I guess the big thing for me to say right now is be cautious, but you are at an area of support. All right.
Mhm.
But the thing is, I preferably would like to see more than one test of this area, and get that retest and then be a little bit more comfortable that this is now starting to bend back up and right before I would look to enter. That's just personal. Um, but what happens if it continues to fall? Like, what are some key areas for you to look at? Well, 56K is a big one. All right, or around 56K. It's probably a little bit higher now at this point because this trend line is actually a channel that goes way, way, way back. You can see how it's honored it here. It messed with it right here as well. Wasn't perfect support, but then it was here. So what did you see between the oscillators? Well, really, if you go to here and then to here, again, you see that trend up and right when you got that second retest of that area at about 56K. So that would be the area I'd be looking for to find some support is about 56,000. If we fall through this current area, and then top side in terms of looking for resistance, you got to be very careful of this trend line. And now you're starting to build a little bit of confluence between the trend line and the value area low of the range. So keep your eye on that. But that's about what I'm seeing right now for Bitcoin. And I'm going to pass it over to FD and let him go through some TA for you guys.
Yeah, so yeah, the trade from earlier, I don't have the Bitcoin chart up right now. I'm gonna do Tron. I had a couple people ask me to do Tron because they think Tron is gonna do well the rest of this bull run. So I'm gonna go over some quick, simple TA with Tron and show you how easy TA could be sometimes. Just the simple, just the simple ways. But with Bitcoin, I saw that when it bounced a little, it came down, and then it bounced a little, but I didn't get it. I didn't get any momentum. I didn't get a huge. We didn't get a huge bounce. I wanted to see a good reaction off that top side of that ascending triangle, and I didn't see it. Then I see money flow not curving the way I wanted to, so I didn't take it. I should have took the short. I made the video earlier saying what to do if it did do that, and I didn't take my own advice, so that's on me. That would have been a nice amount. But we're talking about Tron now. Tron has been like the talk of the town. One of the coins that's been the talk of the town the past week or so. So Tron, I mean, if you just look at this chart, sometimes this is how I really start my analysis. I started from the basics. What do we have? We have a rising wedge. We have the upper sloping trend line. We have the upper downward sloping. I mean, we have the horizontals coming in. What did we do? We built this pressure, built this pressure, built this pressure. We came down. What did we do? Retested it, and now we're coming down. So what I'll be looking for Tron, somebody said they wanted to find an entry. Like the best entry for Tron, you have to zoom out. The best entry for Tron, if the market does seem to roll over a lot more, will be this area at about 14 cent, about 14 cent. Not sure how high Tron can go. It has already a high market cap, nice big circulating supply. I think my calculations was some reasonable, like close to $1 if it has like the market cap of like what Binance got to last bull run. But in the immediate short term, the name of the game right now is scalp season for me. It's scalp season for me. I'm not taking any super long trades. If I see something in profit, if I get into profit, then I'm going to start moving my stop. I'm going to be an active stop loss mover. I'm moving my stop loss up. I'm taking the small wins, like we talk about the base hits. So with Tron, this was an easy setup. We had the horizontal coming in here. You see, we had the top side resistance here. Finally broke through it, used it as support, broke up, came back down with the upper sloping trend line and confluence with the horizontal, retested that. What do we do? Dump. So if you're just going by simple TA metrics, this was an easy setup. Easy setup. Easy setup. You can make a lot of money with these setups. So don't let people come and tell you that you can't trade with simple setups. It's all about risk management. Like in setups like this, this is an easy setup. This was kind of like a home run setup. So I would have went heavier on things like this. I don't really go heavy on, trade setups that just have the basic TA, but things like this, these are just, knocks out the park. These are home runs. So I do use indicators. I do use oscillators for confluence. But if I just start and I'm just, analyzing a chart, this is what I really start with. So simple things do work. I don't advise you just to only use this, but they do work. But Tron, like I said, Tron is set to probably do well this bull run. They got meme coins they're building on there. I think it was only like 10 to 20 meme coins. So once the market starts to heat up, I think Tron, this was a precursor to how Tron might react to a bullish market. So if you're into Tron, let me know. If you think Tron is going to do something, let me know. Tron has stood the test of time, so we know it's probably not going anywhere as well. So that's another factor when you're factoring in, longer term holds.
Right on, right on. All right, I'm gonna transition back here. Let's see, got my screen up. Cool. All right, Cardano. Looking at Cardano on the daily, this is not looking all that great. So you can see there's actually a significant difference between Bitcoin and Cardano, right? So Bitcoin got into a range; it stayed in its range for months, and Cardano, you can see a very clear trend down and right. If you go to the daily, you can see that we have been negative, or at least red on the dynamic reactor since April of this year. And it stayed underneath of the dynamic reactor. Look at how well this trend, I mean, the dynamic reactor has really turned into almost like a trend line down and right. And you can see it's been resistance the whole way down, even with this latest move. That goes back a couple of days where it did push up a little bit. There was a very harsh rejection in the area of about 39 cents, where the dynamic reactor is, and that kind of falls in line with what we've been seeing. So what I would say for Cardano, if you guys are really looking into long Cardano, I'd be really careful. There's two things that I'm going to look for in terms of Cardano on the daily. All right, because I very much like to wait for the price action to come to me. You can see right now, like we are at an area of so it's I have it labeled as resistance, but as I'm looking at it right here, I don't want to play the old uh, switch it up on your game. But honestly, as I look to the left of the chart, I can see that it could come down a little bit further in terms of where some of the wicks are. So I'm going to say we're at an area of support right now. All right. And it's pretty important for Cardano to find support here. Okay. It's not perfect, obviously, that I have one horizontal line that goes through a single cent and we're just going to nail this thing. But I think we're at a pretty critical area for Cardano. If we lose this area right now, I think that it does come down further to a more important area, and that's around 30 cents. You can see this buying pressure right here. Look at this crazy wick. All right, now it wicked down pretty hard and pretty far, like 27 cents is pretty wild. And you can see if you look back left on the chart where there's a horizontal level there. But I think 30 cents, if you break down, so you'll see something where it kind of retests this area, breaks down, and then you're kind of looking at around 30 cents would be an area that I would be very interested in Cardano. So if you're playing the long game, I would send alert for 30 cents, which I'm going to do right now. But the other thing I'd be looking for to be like, hey, like when are we going to be feeling kind of bullish about Cardano again? That's going to be tough. You got to break this dynamic reactor. So I think here soon, you're going to find some confluence between this area at about 39 cents as this continues its movement down and right. So you could see this continues down and right. Now, if price action can finally get above this area and look for some kind of retest, then we're kind of saying, okay, the trend is kind of coming to an end and we can look for some movement up and right. So it's got a long way to go is really my point for Cardano. It's got a lot of resistance to get through. The big one for me right now is 39 cents in this dynamic reactor before I get kind of bullish on Cardano again. But if you're adding to some bags, about 30 cents would be a nice area. Even here is not so bad. At about 34 cents, you are at an area of support. And if you are feeling that there's confluence between this support level with Cardano and the support level with Bitcoin, then it could be an opportunity there. But I will tell you, my two areas are 30 cents and 39 cents for Cardano right now. So today is going to be a little bit of a quick one. Again, we're going to push some people over to Billy Goat Tails. And I am sick, if you can't tell. It is not so well for me today. I almost just said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm toughing it out for you guys because I love you guys. And I want to make sure we get you the info that you want. And, you guys, you're why we do this. But with that being said, Billy Goat Tails here. Let me go ahead and pull this up here so you guys can see it. Right here, Billy Goat Tails. That is where most of you will probably be headed is my guess. Billy was just in the chat. He's probably over there right now, and they're going to be doing that time now. And that's going to be with Kyle Chisholmore. All right. So he's a pretty good trader. I've seen him on a couple shows now at this point, and I think he's actually in Alex O's Discord, if I remember correctly, doing trade setups as well. So pretty good dude, really nice, and a really good trader. So go ahead, get over to Billy Goat Tales, check him out. We really appreciate you guys for coming on today. And FD, do you have anything you want to say to the people on the way out?
No, man. Just be careful out there, man. We had a lot of warnings like yesterday. Even when I went on a few of these shows, I was like, a lot of these coins are in like high term time frame bear flags. Like, and these sometimes, they play out and you look like a genius. But a lot of times we don't want this to happen. We want the market to just go up. But it's just a lot. Before we get out of here, I did see a post on Twitter saying this is the worst bull run of all time. I seen somebody tweet that out about an hour or two ago. I wanted to chime in, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. This is not like if you were around for 2020. This is basically how it went. This is basically how it went. And then 2021 would probably be equivalent to our 2025. That's when the parabolic year is supposed to happen. If you go by the 4-year cycle. So
Yeah.
if you're a big 4-year cycle person, this year is a year that you can still accumulate, that you still have a chance to get some of these coins back around bear market levels or a little bit above bear market levels. So just calm down. Even calm down. Things are not looking too good right now, but if you zoom out, we're still in a bullish structure for Bitcoin. So sometimes we got to step back, zoom out, reevaluate, reassess, and go from there. And like I said, if your conviction is strong, these moves, these day-to-day moves shouldn't matter as much. Now, if you in slapdog pappy wap meme coin, that's a problem. But if you're in high quality plays and things that have stood the test of times, it shouldn't be no problem.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. And it kind of drove me nuts. A lot of people weren't calling it a bull market when Bitcoin, like 3x'd. It was down at 13,000. Like, and that wasn't that long ago, so you got to keep that in mind. That's a pretty big move for Bitcoin. And, I'm not going to say a lot of the coins followed. I think it's just because there's a lot of mid caps that people expected in the top 10 to follow that didn't. And I
Right.
think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because they have probably a diverse portfolio and it looked like only Bitcoin and some memes kind of just ran away, right? So that's kind of the majority of what you saw over 2023 was that crazy. I mean, that's a heck of a move. So to
Yeah.
find some consolidation after that move, this is
Mhm.
okay. Like I think it's actually really
Yeah.
bullish that we're consolidating in the area that we are because if you go look at the previous two all-time highs, go look at it. Just look at it on the chart. Like we're
Mhm.
consolidating longer than we did through those two all-time highs, which gives you a little bit of hopium that hey, like we're just taking a break, we're cooling off, people are kind of getting back in. But that's what happens. People get bored or they start losing hope because something is so stagnant for so long. And the minute you're like, you know what? I'm not going to do
Boom.
this or I'm going to pull out, boom, that thing goes up. I've
Yeah.
seen it 100 times.
Right.
So if you got
Each
conviction,
cycle, yeah, each cycle is different in its own way. The key is finding the differences and capitalizing upon the difference and capitalizing on what sectors, what coins, what narrative is bullish, how the market is moving. Once you can kind of, we can't predict, but once you can kind of figure out what's going on, we kind of had a precursor of what's going on. We saw what ran. So if I was new, I would go back to the beginning of the year, see what ran, see what had very huge pumps, and then I would go from there.
right on. Cool, man. Well, we're gonna get out of here. I do want to give a special shout out to Mark Dutch. He is my dude. Clay the Great. How you doing, Hootie Hoo? And Flat Smack. He said first. I don't know about that. You're a little late, man. Maybe it's for something else. But hope all is well. Hope everyone has a great day. Stay strong. You're gonna be all right. We are at an area of support that we pointed out to you guys. If we lose that, then hey, you might look at about 56K or so for your next area of support there. So again, thank you everyone. If you got anything from today's show, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. And we are gonna get out of here. So trade safe, be safe, and we're gonna see you tomorrow.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go, go,